So my name is Marc Fournier. I live in Exeter, New Hampshire. I actually grew up in Fitchburg, Massachusetts, and went to UNH, back to Boston, back to New Hampshire, kind of bounced all around. So I've been in this region for a while now. So on the one hand, I focus right now for my more fine art stuff on watercolors. Doing a lot of landscape work, wildlife, especially birds, like backyard birds and things like that in New Hampshire. But then I have a whole digital side where it's more inspired by jam bands, Grateful Dead iconography, Dave Matthews Band, different things like that. I was kind of looking at both of those worlds that I was talking about. So the watercolor fine art work that I do, and then some of the graphic design work, and how could I blend these two things together. So I used a watercolor painting that I did a number of years ago. It was one of my earlier ones of the Falling Waters Trail up in Franconia Notch. It's actually based on a reference photo that one of my brothers took. And I said, that would be like a fun background, because like, what would be something that I could think of that would be sporty, right? Like, how can I take a soccer player, just basically, and say, like, put him out on the trails? What would that be? I was like, oh, trail running, right? This could be really fun. Like, let's put like a cartoon character on a painted background, almost like an old style way of doing animation at one point. So throwing him in there and then adding the trail sign that says like how many miles it is to the mountains versus back to Gillette. As an artist, you're kind of just working in a vacuum, and you go like, I'm doing this because I'm kind of into it. I think it might be a fun idea. And then you bring it out into the world, and if it's like my mountains or birds, and seeing people react to it and go like, oh, I hiked there, or oh, I had like a summer house there, or I had these childhood memories of that place, and going, wow, that really connected with somebody. Like, I did something that I just was working on, but it has an emotional resonance to somebody else. It's such an interesting, like, kind of carry through. But then I also just think that the trail sign is really fun. There is no trail sign on this trail that has this detail. So bringing in the fact that you're at the peak of Mount Lafayette, and you go this way to Mount Washington, this way to Gillette, just little features like that to say, this is Franconia Notch. This is like where it is. And was really kind of inspired a bit to do this from my nephews, who are big soccer fans, big Revolution fans, and they're teenagers, and so it's kind of like, I didn't want to just do something that was super sophisticated. I want to bring in like an element of fun that, like, if I was a kid and I got this poster on that day, I'd want to put it in my room because it would be like a fun memory. And maybe beyond all of that, you kind of look at it and say, well, when was the last time I was up to the White Mountains? Maybe I should head up and take a hike sometime.